Hello everybody, Cole the Hedgehog here, and today we are going to be playing the Stanley Parable. I know I haven't posted a video in a couple months, but that's because Team Fortress 2 is awesome. Now, I tried to do a different video of this, but I don't know if you can see that, but like, there's this like little recording thing there, and then you could see it on the computer here. That is freaky. Oh. Anyway, this is a narrative, funny little fourth wall breaking game that if you don't want me to spoil it for you, go buy it. Now, let's hope it doesn't crash again in the loading screen. Oh, frame rate's dropping severely. Oh.
This is the story of a man named Stanley.
Indeed.
Stanley worked for a company in a big building where he was employee number 427.
There's a lot of employees.
Employee number 427's job was simple. He sat at his desk in room 427 and he pushed buttons on the keyboard. Orders came to him through a monitor on his desk, telling him what buttons to push, how long to push them, and in what order. This is what employee 427 did every day of every month of every year. And although others might have considered it soul-rending,
Which I
Stanley
consider
relished every moment that the orders came in.
What the?
As though he had been made exactly for this job. And Stanley was happy.
I wouldn't be happy with that job.
And then one day, something very peculiar happened.
The Stanley
Something
Parable?
that would forever change Stanley.
The Stanley Parable.
Something he would never quite forget.
The Stanley Parable.
He had been at his desk for nearly an hour when he realized that not one single order had arrived on the monitor for him to follow. No one had showed up to give him instructions, call a meeting, or even say hi. Never in all his years at the company had this happened. This complete isolation. Something was very clearly wrong. Shocked, frozen solid, Stanley found himself unable to move for the longest time. But as he came to his wits and regained his senses, he got up from his desk and stepped out of his office.
Alright, so this is the beginning of the...
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Okay. First off, I
No
want to
matter
say...
how hard Stanley looked, he couldn't find a trace of his co-workers.
Stop interrupting me. First off, I just want to say, what is with the, like... These weren't like that before. Now, I saw Markiplier do this. I want to get up into that window. Oh. Come on. You know what? I don't know how to... Oh. Well, this is one of the endings. This is a game about multiple choice, and I don't know what kind of choice I've made.
At first, Stanley assumed he'd broken the map until he heard this narration and realized it was part of the game's design all along. He then praised the game for its insightful and witty commentary into the nature of video game structure and its examination of structural narrative tropes. So,
I apologize if I
what do you
sniffle
think?
a little.
Isn't this a fun and unique place to be? Why don't we take a minute just to drink it all in?
It's
Okay,
like...
I'm over it now. What do you think? Are you sick of this gag yet?
Well, Markiplier hit no. I want to see what happens if I hit yes. But there are people viewing this who haven't seen Markiplier yet.
Then in that case, we'll continue. But now, here comes the real question. What do you think would have happened if you had told me that you wanted this to stop? Do you think it would have been particularly
Hold on a
different?
second.
Would I have taken the same idea but rephrased it superficially to fit that answer? Perhaps you never would even have thought of it if I hadn't brought up the issue in the first place. Oh, now think about it. Would it be worth it for you to restart and then come back here just to do the other option? Clearly, this whole gag takes some time. What if
Yes,
the
it
other
does.
option is even longer? How long will you spend in total just to have heard all the narration? Oh, and this is rich. Perhaps you've just played the other option, and now you've come to see what happens in this one. So, what do you think? Which choice was the better one? Imagine if you had selected continue on your first playthrough, how tantalizing it would be not knowing what happens when you pick the other option. Indeed, you are one of the lucky ones.
Can I turn subtitles off real quick? Also, I love when you, like, go through the options. It does, like, this, thing. Yeah, like that. It makes it sound like keys. Alright. Back to the game.
Though if the other option is really miserable to listen to, then perhaps you're not. In fact, I'm just going to say that no one who's listening to this is lucky. Well now, I've built up the other option so much that I'm going to stop talking and leave you to your decision whether to come back here, continue with the game, or just sit in this spot forever and ever. Cheers.
Cheers, mate, as the demo man would say. So you just left me in this. You just left me in this void of a place where I could just count how many pixels there are in the letters. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I'm bored. Let's begin the game again. Don't crash. Don't crash. Alright, this has, like, I've heard about 18 endings. Well, I'm gonna go through
How long was I
this.
sitting there? Stanley wondered to himself. Minutes? Days? Centuries? Did something crucial happen while my senses were turned? He made a note to be more careful with time from now on.
What does that say? What I want to see what that said. If you could read that, the coffee mug said, "Who farted?" I like work. Just hate my boss. I like work, just hate my boss. Okay. There's a little thing you can do. Yeah, if you go through this game 5 times, there will be like a computer here, and then another place it'll say the same thing. But if you play through it 5 times, you can go to a secret, which I'll show in another video, maybe, once I learn how to edit. Let's see, can I still get that achievement thing? I've gotten half the achievements in this game. That one. Can I still get it? Oh, no. Well, go see someone else get the achievement then. Come on, you're faster, Stanley. I know there is no sprint, but why can't you go any faster? You're a human.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered
Or
the
is
door
he?
on his left.
Well, I'm gonna do what I want, and I say, screw that.
This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it.
Alright.
Yes, truly a room worth admiring. It had really been worth the detour after all, just to spend a few moments here in this immaculate, beautifully constructed. But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
Okay. I've not seen what happens if we go through there. I'm gonna get as many endings as I can into this episode. It's not gonna be the first episode I do of this
And
series.
so he detoured through the maintenance section,
Well-
walked straight ahead to the opposite door, and got back on track.
When I say first, I mean it's not gonna be the only one I do in this series. Oh, it is just a detour. Okay.
Yet there was not a single person here either.
Tips for not
Feeling
getting
a
fired.
wave of
Talk less.
disbelief, Stanley
Do-
decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there.
Thanks for that little tip of information. What the?
What the heck? This wasn't here before.
Stanley stepped into the broom closet, but there was nothing here, so he turned around and got back on track.
Yeah, I'm gonna listen to you this time, because I'm not waiting in there just to show everyone.
Coming to a staircase,
Something.
Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Yeah, but, maybe I'll do that in another video. Oh, there's something I want to do here. Something I want to try. I want to go in here, and before the doors close, come back out. I'm crouching right now.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Shocked, unraveled, Stanley wondered in disbelief who orchestrated this. What dark secret was being held from him? What he could not have known was that the keypad behind the boss's desk guarded the terrible truth that his boss had been keeping from him. And so the boss had assigned it an extra secret PIN number. 2845.
Oh, I got the first two numbers correct.
But of course, Stanley couldn't possibly have known this.
I wish I had a face cam so you could see my reaction. But I have super long and invisible arms, apparently.
Yet incredibly, by simply pushing random buttons on the keypad, Stanley happened to input the correct code.
Oh, you did
by
tell
sheer
me.
luck. Amazing. He stepped into the newly opened passageway.
Now, there are a total of, like, 3 endings I could get from going down here. And, like, I went down one of them once, and then I didn't know where to go after it, so I just started the game over again. But we're gonna go and see. And I'm gonna act like I've never been down here before.
Descending deeper into the building, Stanley realized he felt a bit peculiar. It was a stirring of emotion in his chest, as though he felt more free to think for himself, to question the nature of his job. Why did he feel this now, when for years it had never occurred to him? This question would not go unanswered for long.
Screw waiting under the door, I just crouch under it.
Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility.
Yes, I could do that and show you the Easter egg that is in that room, but I'll do that another time. I want to see what the ending was if I go over here.
Although this passageway had the word escape written on it, of course, the truth
Stanley
was
thought
that
what
at
the-
the end of this hall, realized he simply had too much to live for.
What?
Nope, still on board with death.
Alright. Okay. I could just click and it makes keyboard noises. I love that.
The door behind him was not shut. Stanley still had every opportunity to turn around and get back on track. At this point, Stanley was making a conscious, concerted effort to walk forward and willingly confront his death.
I really don't want to go down there, but I don't think I have a choice. But this game is all about loading. The frames have stopped. Oh. 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 Ow.
As the machine whirred into motion,
What is that thing ahead of me?
Stanley was inched closer and closer to his demise. He reflected that his life had been of no consequence whatsoever. Stanley can't see the bigger picture. He doesn't know the real story, trapped forever in his narrow vision of what this world is. Perhaps his death was of no great loss, like plucking the eyeballs from a blind man. And so he resigned and willingly accepted this violent end to his brief and shallow life.
No.
Farewell, Stanley.
See, I'm just gonna pretend. Oh, never mind.
"Farewell, Stanley," cried the narrator, as Stanley was led helplessly into the enormous metal jaws. In a single visceral instant, Stanley was obliterated as the machine crushed every bone in his body, killing him instantly.
And then I dropped to the floor. Pretty sure there's another way to go other than that. Because that's... no, it's the only way. The Stanley Parable.
And yet it would be just a few minutes before Stanley would restart the game, back in his office, as alive as ever. What exactly did the narrator think he was going to accomplish? When every path you can walk has been created for you long in advance, death becomes meaningless, making life the same. Do you see now?
Wait
Do
a
you see
minute.
that Stanley was already dead from the moment he hit start?
Why is there nothing beyond that? The spam E and mouse 1. Maintenance room. I didn't play the early version of this game. I wouldn't know a thing about it. Warzone. I really wouldn't. Fighting the alien. On the nose? What does that mean? Which was not our intention. Alright. What's that? Narrator emails. From new result subject. Wow. Congratulations. That's my Smash Bros voice. Smash Bros announcer. Okay, I gotta find the exit quickly. Where is it? Ooh. I think I have a pretty good Smash Bros announcer voice. Listen. Hold on. Free for all. 3, 2, 1, go! Okay, game is now paused. Begin the game. Alright. Alright, exit. Okay. I only have 2 minutes left before it's in 20-minute thing.
Oh, look at these two. How they wish to destroy one another. How they wish to control one another. How they both wish to be free. Can you see? Can you see how much they need one another? No, perhaps not. Sometimes these things cannot be seen.
Can we get this ending
Listen
over
to
with?
me. You can still save these two. You can stop the program before they both fail. Push escape and press quit. There's no other way to beat this game. As long as you move
no.
forward, you'll be walking someone else's path. Stop now and it'll be your only true choice. Whatever you do, choose it. Don't let time choose for you. Don't let time...
I let time choose for me. Alright. Oh, what the? Should I wait? Okay, apparently I'm not dead or something. So yeah, that was one of the endings to the Stanley Parable. I will post this as soon as I can. And this is gonna be a series. I'm not gonna do any community games for a while because I don't know how to edit and people swear on the internet. So thank you all for watching and I will see you
next time.